What's up YouTube? So today we're back with the JDM pointer stick and we have Gabe and his CRX.
Hey, what's up?
This is the same CRX we had in our video blog a long time ago, and since then it's gone through a lot of modification and set up for Gabe's first race, which is next week. So without further ado, we're going to go around the car again and point out everything that's done, then take it for a quick spin on the back roads. Okay, so starting off with the tires, these are Dunlop Dureza Z2 Star Specs. These are also a 200 tread wear tire, so they're most suited for circuit and autocross use, but they can also be used on the street. They have a center band and a tread pattern that looks really similar to the Bridgestone RE71s, but I heard these are known to last longer.
So for the wheels on this car, we have a 15x7 plus 35 offset SSR Type X. It's about 13 kilograms per wheel, so it's pretty light.
So as you guys saw in my older video blog, the CRX was kind of messed up underneath as far as suspension and bushings go.
Part of the boot for the bulge. Oh, this side is worse.
Since then, Gabe has done a lot to improve the car and fix all those issues. So why don't you tell us what you did?
Basically, that was the main thing we did. Just kind of changed out with polyurethane bushings. And then also we changed the front suspension up a little bit. We just put in the new upper control arms, and then also put in a new ball joint for the front suspension as well. Also is the outer tie rod ends. Also we did alignment on this just to make sure. It's a very important thing to do.
As far as brake setup, Gabe has basically stock four-wheel disc brakes, but he has drilled and slotted rotors, and then he also has OEM pads. As far as an engine setup, Gabe's got a lot going on here with this B series. It's basically a Frankenstein stroker kit build. So I'm just going to read off the phone so I don't miss anything. It's kind of a long list. The B16A block with B17 crank and shot peen rods, ACL race bearings, Hastings rings, a ported GSR oil pump, B17 head and cams, B18 C5 springs retainers, intake manifold, a Skunk 2 70mm throttle body, and a 3-inch intake. It also has a 4-to-1 header. Additionally, looking at it, it's got a hydro tranny, so that's out of the M1 Civic Si. That's a basic overview of the CRX. Now we're going to take it on the back road and rip it around a little bit. It's kind of wet out, but we'll see how it handles. Alright. Looks like there's a lot of cars going down that way, so I'll just go right here and try out the motor. So this is that B-Series Frankenstein. It's pretty quick. It definitely pulls harder than the S2000. So you guys might remember from the last video, this car was super loud. Now it just has an OEM exhaust, so maybe it doesn't sound as exciting. So this has no power steering. Pretty good. Do another pull. It's really responsive. Has a lightweight flywheel. A little left foot braking. Holding the ocean handle. Yeah, not bad.
Makes the passenger want to hold the handle.
Tires are pretty good. So we're gonna come up here to our windy road and I'll put it a little bit through its paces. I think the front left is rubbing a little bit, so we might go a little easier on the right turns. Have to wait a bit here. But yeah, I guess we'll just use this time to say the car is a lot more dialed in and just feels a lot more solid than the first time I drove it. It didn't even have an alignment the first time, so things are all out of whack and there's no exhaust. The steering is a little bit more vague than the MRS and the S2000, but once it loads up, it has some good response. But anyway, we're coming up for the first couple turns here, so. Little left foot brake. Understeer's a little bit there. Brakes could do some work. Torque's pretty good. I have to give it a small clutch kick up the hill, but overall the car's pretty good. I think it's ready, huh?
The suspension setup and the tires, I think that's probably the best thing you can do for it.
The pedal placement's awesome. When the car gets loaded up in a turn, it really sticks. It's got the double wishbone suspension, just like the S2000 and Miata, so it's got a pretty good camber curve through the sweepy turns. This car doesn't have an LSD though, so coming out of the turns, the inner wheel might spin a little bit. Brake and gas. Yeah, pretty good. Because it's front wheel drive, the driving dynamics are a little bit different. You can feel the rear get really light when you're slowing down, so tried to just brake a little earlier and get the car settled before we got into a turn. I didn't want the rear to lift and snap on us. This car is also gutted, so there's no weight back there. The drawbacks of this car is I think the brakes, the pedal's a little bit soft, so maybe it needs to be re-bled. And then the no power steering, I know a lot of guys say because race car, but I think it's a little bit much for no power steering in a front wheel drive car. I've had no power steering on my old MR2 Turbo, and this is fine, I mean, when we're moving. But when you get really loaded into the turn, it gets a little bit tiresome. And I mean, if you're on a long, or especially at autocross and like tight toge, it might get pretty tiring to drive with a front wheel drive without power steering. But overall, the car is pretty good and pretty fast, as you guys can see. We got a lot of cool vibrations in here, being a 90s Honda, but overall, the car's pretty dialed in for what it is at this point. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, hopefully we'll do more reviews. And yeah, see ya.